Hi. So here we have among 100 students, x1 have birthdays in January, x2 have birthdays in February and so on. And if x naught is equal to the max of x1 till x12. Okay, x naught is the maximum of x1, x2, x3 till x11, x12. So we have to figure out the minimum value of x naught, smallest possible value of x naught. So we basically have to figure out the minimum value of a max function. Now to understand this, let's just take two numbers x1 and x2. If x1 and x2, the sum of these two numbers is 100, and if x naught is maximum of x1 or x2, and if we have to calculate the minimum value of x naught, what can be the minimum value of x naught? Let's understand this, and once we understand this, we will extrapolate it to this here. Now if there are a lot of possibilities for x1 and x2, since these are number of people, they must be integers, they must be whole numbers. So if we take a lot of possible values of x1 and x2, it's possible that x1 is 0, then x2 is 100, the sum is constant. If this is 1, this is 99, this goes on till a point where both of them are equal, and then a point where x1 is 100 and x2 is 0. Okay. So now if you talk about x naught, in this case x naught will be the max of 200, then here x naught will be 99, then you have 2 and 98, so x naught will be 98, so on till here you have both of them equal, which is 50. Okay. Before this x1 was 49 and this was 51, so this is x naught will be 51. So what's happening is x naught decreases as x1 and x2 become close to each other. After this x1 will become 51 and x2 will become 49. So x naught will be the max of 251. So what happens? Now x naught starts increasing, and in this case x naught becomes equal to 100. So here x naught is decreasing and then x naught starts increasing. So when is x0 or x naught least? It is least when both the numbers are equal. So this is the pattern that we need to understand. When you have a few numbers such that their sum is constant, the minimum value of that max function will be when the numbers are equal, right? So the minimum value of x naught here will be when x1, x2, x3, all of them are equal, right? Now can all of them be equal, strictly equal? Not really actually. There are 12 variables and 100 students, so 100 by 12 will not be an integer. So if they are not equal, let's try to make them as close to each other as possible. Since there are 12 numbers, what is the factor or multiple of 12 less than 100? The multiple of 12 less than 100 is 96. So let's divide 96 by 12, that is 8. So x1 is 8. So if we assume that x1 is 8, x2 is also 8, so on till x8 is also 8, x9 is 8, x10 is 8, x11 is 8, and x12 is 8. So we have a total of 96 people, but we want 100 people, right? So we have to distribute 4 more students. Now we have to distribute 4 more students such that all these numbers will be as close to each other as possible. So if we, let's say, distribute all the 4 students to x12, then one of the numbers will be 8 and the other will be 12. They are quite far apart. So the best way to keep them as close to each other as possible will be divide these 4 students as equally as possible. So divide them amongst 4 of these numbers as 1, 1, 1. So this becomes 9. This here also becomes 9. This becomes 9 and this becomes 9. So out of these 12 values, 8 of them are equal to 8 and 4 of them are equal to 9. So now the numbers are 8 and 9, and this is the closest possible you can have, right? So x naught here will be the maximum of 8, 8, 8, 8, 9, 9, 9, 9, which is 9. And this will give us the minimum value of x naught. So the minimum value of x naught is option D, 9. If we had, let's say, given all the 4 students to x12, then what would have happened? This would have been 8, 8, 8, and this would have been 12. So we would have 100 students. Now x0 will be the maximum of these. Maximum of these would have been 12 in that case, but that's not the least possible value of x0. The least possible value of x0 will be when all these numbers are as close to each other as possible. That is when 8 of them are 8 and 4 of them are 9. This is the case where x0 will be least and the least value will be 9. Thank you.